Alright, I think we're good to go. Breakfast in the rain.
So we're sitting here in this lovely misty rain.
I don't even know Misty.
Misty is crying right now because you can see her tears showering us.
I'm trying to decide what kind of gear I want. It's drizzly, which means that it's not raining hard enough for a rain jacket, but the drizzle makes it muggy, which means the plastic rain jacket's gonna make me muggy and drizzling on the inside.
You're gonna be muggy. You're gonna be muggy either way. So.
I think I'm just gonna go regular, and let the wind keep me dry.
I'm gonna go full on rain wetsuit. We are in Florence, Alabama.
Just across the river from Muscle Shoals. So our plan today, anyway, is to go and visit where Helen Keller's birthplace was. Notice that yesterday we stayed in a hotel where Oprah Winfrey was born.
Same town anyway, not in the hotel, but you know what we're saying.
After we visit Helen Keller's birthplace, we'll probably swing by the old Muscle Shoals recording studio.
Well, let's
do that then.
8:30. Let's get after it.
Let's look at the radar first, because if there's a window, let's wait for the window.
Okay, let's run.
Recording.
I got the GoPro going. I got the...
How was that campsite last night, guys?
Man! Warm and dry.
It was dry, it was cool, and the amenities were amazing.
Crossing over the Tennessee River. Now I've heard that old train bridge you can walk on now. It's become a pedestrian path.
We are in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the birthplace of Helen Keller in 1880. As a child, she lost the ability to see and to hear, but she went on to learn with Braille and how to communicate with sign language in the person's hand. She became an advocate to help people with those disabilities improve their lives. She also became known as America's First Lady of Courage.
So as you're traveling down the Natchez Trace, when you get to mile marker 320, highly recommended little detour for you. Jump off and run on down to Muscle Shoals, also Tuscumbia, Alabama. And they're basically two little neighboring towns. We just showed you, of course, Helen Keller, her birthplace, which is really neat. But even more cool, I think, is the sound recording studio of Muscle Shoals. You'll find it's a pretty historic place. Some amazing artists have recorded here, including Cat Stevens,
Bob Dylan,
Willie Nelson,
George Michael,
Aretha Franklin,
the Rolling Stones,
and Leonard Skinner.
and don't forget Bob Seegers
and Paul Simon.
That was pretty cool.
Muscle Shoals.
Muscle Shoals.
Nice little stop off the Natchez Trace.
I like that.
Got to see some historic places.
Yeah, man.
Stand on the ground of a lot of great people. Or very talented people, I guess some would say.
Kind of like you. You're a talented person.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much.
That's a good one. Sure, right turn.
So where to next, my friend?
We are going up to Culbert's Ferry, heading back to the Trace. Stick around and don't forget to hit
the like and subscribe.
And cut. After you leave the fantastic Muscle Shoals, head on back up to the Natchez Trace Parkway and go down to mile marker 327.3. There you're going to stop at the George Colbert Stand. It's right before you cross the almost 1 mile long bridge over the Tennessee River, which is known as the John Coffey Memorial Bridge.
Gives a boss like the drink, just not spelled the same.
George Colbert was known in this area because he ran a stand or an inn that travelers coming up the trace could stay at.
But the most famous thing he's known for is the ferry. And he helped Andrew Stonewall Jackson get his entire army across there at a cost of $75,000 those days dollars, which is...
There's no mathematical formula for that.
in today's money,
It could be old math.
$1.61 million.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is nowadays you can come up here and use a picnic table for free.
There's no such thing as bad weather. It's bad clothing.
That's right. You know what's funny is, speaking of photographers and rain, some of my favorite wedding photos that I've ever done were in the rain.
Backlit flash.
Backlit flash under an umbrella, you know, the sky has got this electric blue color, you know, just because it's so cold and overcast, but those to me are some of my favorite shots because they're unique and different, and you took a potentially sour situation and turned it into magic.
That would be our job.
333. That's an interesting number.
Yeah. I'm glad we stopped putting on our rain gear. Yep.
That's for sure.
This would have been ugly without it.
You know what's funny is we have waterproof skin.
Yes.
But if the riding gear you have, like if you're riding in motorcycle jeans or something like that, if that's not waterproof, man, that can be miserable the rest of the day. Well, guys, in a mile and a half is where we're supposed to stop at the Whitechapee commemorative stone wall. I'm thinking the rain's coming down a little harder. Do you really want to stop or just keep going?
If y'all don't want to stop, that's fine. I just gotta make a show, so I can do it.
I don't know. You gonna be able to record it in the rain?
I don't know. About to find out.
I think it's the largest non-mortared stone wall in the country. It was built by Tom Hendricks. Took him 30 years as a tribute to his great-great-grandmother, who was part of the American Indian Relocation to Oklahoma program. And it's been featured in the New York Times. Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Jason.
Uh-huh.
Look on your GPS.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
What time is it?
It's going to be under or over the cat time.
Yeah, we are just about to cross the Trans-American Trail, which we did in another episode. We'll link to it somewhere above. Go check it out. You guys, we might actually be going into a town that we may have stopped at on the TAT.
That's funny.
Holy cow. Because our coffee shop is this next exit.
Yay.
355. Oh, that bridge that we went over was the TAT, huh?
Yep. So the road that we're getting ready to get onto is the tap.
That's hilarious.
So if you were to go right,
You'll be following the tat. So this place isn't open, huh? We're riding on the
Trace.
the Trace. So is Waynesboro on the Trace?
13. You go ahead and just go right out down here and hang a left before the Trace. 13 hours.
How about this Mexican place?
Mexican place is
Closed. Okay.
So if we take 13, it goes away from the Trace.
Mimi's Kitchen says it's open till 2.
And where is that?
1.2 miles that way, I think. Just in this town, but
We're going to try Mimi's down the road. We'll try that, and if not, then we'll head to Waynesboro. Thank you.
man, this is beautiful.
So, Chris, did you say that this is the original trace?
Yeah, so this is actually a 2.5 mile loop off of the Natchez Trace Parkway at mile marker 278.6. And it follows the original trace, the Natchez Trace that everybody was actually walking on. So we are riding on some pretty historic footsteps right now, you guys.
That is so cool.
It's beautiful too, just shrouded in these trees. It's a one-way loop. You just ride on around and it comes right back to the Natchez Trace Parkway. I bet this is beautiful in the fall, huh?
Oh gosh, can you imagine?
I can see the leaves being cooked up by Jason's wheels right now. Imagine if those were all orange and yellow and wow, that's beautiful.
See if I can get my remote to connect now.
Jason, can you by any chance see if my remote is still connected?
Uno momento, por favor. Which one? Left?
Left.
Is it rolling?
No, but does it have
No, is it rolling now?
No,
Look at it.
It is not. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Yes, it is.
Good. I just stopped it.
So you come up to this hill, turn left. It's on the left-hand side. And then there's another corner. You turn right, go all the way around the corner so we can get us disappearing.
So we need to stay to the right. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's on the left-hand side of the road.
That's what I mean. We need to ride on the right, or does it matter?
Well, if you hit it, you've gone off the road.
Oh, okay. I got you.
We're rolling. Second clip. Hey, Steve.
Yes, sir.
See if you can find a spot up there to turn around. Okay, ready?
Ready, Steve? Ready, Steve?
I'm ready. Come on. rolling and coming your way.
Jason, that thing is really crooked.
Is it?
Yeah, let me get it. I think you probably...
I put it on there when
you were leaning, yeah. Which lens do you have it on? Wide?
Wide.
Perfect.
How's mine look?
Oh, geez, we did the same thing, sorry.
That's okay.
Yours is 360. I'll just catch everybody else.
Okay. I'm rolling.
I've been rolling. I got all that foolishness that Chris did.
I'll get on this side. Steve, go to the other side so he sees us both. Man, this is pretty.
Feel like I'm on the tap.
Pretty close.
very smooth tat.
It's not very paved tat.
Much of the tat was pretty smooth. Like this. In fact, a lot of the parts through Tennessee were kind of like this, weren't they?
Yep.
Little stuff on the right there. Oh, stop sign. That's ridiculous.
Why? The first stop sign on the whole race.
What in the world? Hey, anybody over the 10-ton limit? I'm just asking.
Oh, maybe after that lunch.
That's a personal question, don't you think?
After that California burrito last night, maybe, Steve?
It's possible. It was a good one.
Look at that light. That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, we got a water crossing.
Sweet.
With a bridge.
That's not a water crossing.
I just crossed the water. I don't know what you're talking about. And under a bridge.
That's probably probably the Trace.
That is the Trace.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, that was really cool, you guys.
That was definitely a redo, a do-over. If you didn't do it, you should do it.
And cut.
Whew. Now that I've been sweating because we've been going so slow, I'm going to be chilly for the next 5 minutes.
Right?
True that.
Once you get up to mile marker 385.9, you do not want to miss the Meriwether Lewis Burial Memorial. This is a great site to stop and really take in the scenery. But more importantly, it's the location of the death of Meriwether Lewis, the famed explorer of Lewis and Clark expeditions. A notable feature about the memorial is the broken shaft at the top. And that was done traditionally in the 1800s as a sign of a life cut short through an untimely death.
So on the night of October 10th, 1809, Lewis left the Natchez Trail to seek shelter here at the Grinder House. The next morning, he was found bleeding with 2 gunshot wounds.
Now, the Grinder house was called because it was owned by Mrs. Grinder. She slept in the kitchen with her kids, and Meriwether Lewis slept in a separate room, and the servants slept in an outbuilding or something like that. Now, he was shot in the head twice. Now, that has conjured up a bunch of murder mysteries. Is it a murder? Is it suicide? Well, 2 shots at one time? Well, we have our theories at Moto Photo Adventures. Double banger.
Since we're here talking about Meriwether Lewis walking the Natchez Trace Trail, which you see behind me, it would be appropriate to also discuss some of the other famous people who have traveled this trail. One of my personal favorites is James Audubon, the ornithologist, naturalist, and painter that the Audubon Society is named after. One of his most notable accomplishments was identifying 25 new species of birds here in America. And if you're not familiar with his work, check out his book, The Birds of America, which is considered one of the finest ornithological works ever completed.
Another important and mythical figure was Daniel Boone, who you might be familiar with. One of the big myths was he killed a bar when he was only 3, but did you know in 1775 he headed west toward what would be Kentucky, opening up routes for trade on the Natchez Trace. Despite Indian resistance and everything else, those expanding 13 colonies would not have expanded without his travels.
So another interesting individual of this area was Ulysses S Grant. General Grant didn't think much of this area because of the lack of strategic importance, so he saved Natchez, which makes it one of the most beautiful areas along the Natchez Trail and the Mississippi.
Most people in the rural South know what this is. If you're not familiar with it, it's a tobacco barn, and that's where they hung and dried the tobacco. But what you might not know is in the early 1900s, there was a company called Colliery, and they were coming out with this infant technology where they converted cameras into infrared. Now, this guy named Christoph Smith, this was one of his main goals, is to find these old ramshackled buildings and photograph them with that emerging technology. If you look on our website, Moto Photo Adventures or chrisandcammy.com, you'll see a plethora of these old buildings and working machines that this Mr. Christoph Smith has photographed. You remember Chickasaw Chief George Colbert? Well, him and John Gordon decided to partner up and open up a shop and a ferry to ferry people across the Duck River. Now, in 1817, he started building this house with his wife, but because he was on expeditions with Andrew Jackson most of the time, his wife had to finish it. Now, John, he died a little bit after the house was built, but his wife continued on until 1859.
It stands cold and empty now, but this belittles the warmth it was for travelers coming up the trace. When they reached the Gordon house, they knew they were within very short distance of Nashville, all of the creature comforts that they've been yearning for during this long, dirty, and difficult journey.
At mile marker 438, you can pull off the side of the road and take that path you just saw and view the double arch bridge. At 155 feet tall, it spans 1,648 feet from side to side. In 1994, it was completed, but in 1995, it won the President's Award for Design Excellence. Now, all of those facts and figures are wonderful, but if you're into pop culture, you'll like this one. A little ways from here is Leaper's Fork. Guess who lives there? Mr. Justin Timberlake. Put that one in your pocket and surprise your friends.
This is it. We're done. 442. We done made it.
Oh, is this it? Look at that. Hit the clover leaf. That means?
Do we go right or straight?
Well, I don't know.
I think we go down here, and the Loveless Cafe is down here.
That was kind of anticlimactic.
It sort of kind of was.
I don't feel any different. I can't believe there was no, like, you have finished the end of the trace.
There it is, the cafe.
The Loveless Cafe.
We have made it. Whoa, and Chris will pull the maneuver every time.
Every time, every time. Motorcycles only, please. I love it.
We have arrived.
Once you finish the Natchez Trace Parkway, make sure you celebrate your accomplishment at the Loveless Cafe. The Loveless Cafe has been a staple here in Nashville and has some of the best made from scratch biscuits in the South. Been so for 65 years. Man, I thought the trace was unbelievable.
It was definitely a bucket list, and I got it in mind now.
And everything we've ever done is epic.
Epic.
Gentlemen,
Without a date.
congratulations.
So here's another orange shirt hack. Been riding in the rain. Take your gloves off, put them on the motor. Motor's warm, be nice and dry when you get ready to ride again. Hey, we're videoing, look, it's a video.